Okay, so today we're going to install Windows 7 on this iMac 2008. Why? Why not? This never goes well. And you guys love to watch me suffer, so we're gonna do it again. This Mac is on 10.5.8, which I think we'll have to put in Windows Vista for that, which we do not want. So the first thing is to actually upgrade this iMac from macOS 10 Leopard to macOS 10 Snow Leopard. So I've already downloaded the ISO. I don't even remember why I put Leopard on this. I just did it for funsies. I think it's just better to do a clean install because there's a Windows 11 partition on here. I swear to God, yeah. If the f***ing thing doesn't show up as a bootable USB. Okay, thank God. Woo! Oh, that looks vibrant. He didn't ask if I wanted to upgrade, if I wanted to do a clean install. A few doubts about this. It's not going to do the Windows thing where like it moves the previous Windows installation into a folder and then just installs it on the same partition. Like, that's dumb. All right, I guess we'll just let this continue. Okay, well, let's restart. That is definitely Snow Leopard, so that's good. Okay, we're on 10.6.3. We probably should be on 10.6.8. Yeah, 10.6.8 is here. We probably should install that. You know what's crazy? This still works. Like, this is officially coming from Apple servers. Oh my God. I spoke too soon. Honestly, I spoke too soon. Oh, let me try and set the date to today's date. Well, actually, does that work? Oh yeah, I think that did work. Okay. So let's try that again. Because technically Snow Leopard on this iMac is still outdated. We should probably be running like, I don't know, Catalina or something. But we need Snow Leopard because the newer versions I think don't support Windows 7. They will make you install Windows 8. So the next part I want to get to is making our Windows 7 bootable DVD. Okay, let's restart this. I got this blank DVD and I have one of those CD DVD writers. Okay, I think that detected the blank DVD. So let's just find our Windows 7 image and we want it to be DVD drive E, and let's burn and see what happens. Is that working? Okay, I can hear the disk spinning up. Even blowing air in that direction might mess it up. So I'm just gonna try and not touch it at all. Hopefully it wouldn't be a problem because it's like a little rinky-dink USB-C converter because that DVD drive is USB-A. And also now that Apple software updates did work to get us 10.6.8, hopefully they also have the Windows 7 boot camp drivers, because driver hunting is a pain in the ass, especially for like older computers in 2026. Oh my God. I've been at this for 4 hours. 4 hours. If you're enjoying my pain, please subscribe. Please, for the love of God. Oh, okay. Updates were installed successfully. Let's go. We are on 10.6.8 officially. Well, where we need to go is in Utilities and Boot Camp Assistant. Download the Windows support software for this Mac. Let's go. Okay, is that gonna work? Yeah, okay, it's not available. Fine, whatever. The Windows 7 disk is done. You know what? We'll just leave this as is. We'll just go to Boot Camp Assistant and just install it from there. I don't know how smoothly this is gonna go. Like, Apple needs a very specific version of Windows for it to work. Yeah, we're gonna have to see. Okay, we'll give Windows 151 GB. To be fair, this whole affair of getting macOS Snow Leopard was kind of for nothing because it turns out that it didn't even give us the drivers that we needed. Let's see what it does. Is it gonna auto go into the DVD? I thought so. It's not gonna do it by itself. So yeah, basically this whole time that we spent, about 4 hours, installing macOS Snow Leopard was basically for nothing. Does it not detect the DVD? Dude, are you kidding me? Okay, there it is. I was about to get big mad. Got to be f***ing kidding me, dude. It's a problem with the ISO, isn't it? I'm just gonna try doing the EFI boot or else we're continuing this tomorrow. Essentially, we've just wasted a lot of freaking time for absolutely no reason. It just never goes smoothly. Never. F*** it, we're Okay, here's where we're at right now. The USB drive said it failed to copy, which the Windows 7 disk sometimes does say that, but we're gonna test if it boots from the USB anyways. Because the DVD did not work. It could not boot from it. We're gonna try this USB, which is not working. So that's great. Okay. Maybe what we should try and do is burn the Windows 7 disk using this Mac itself. Maybe this disk is toast, you know? Let's give it the benefit of the doubt. Let's go get another disk. Okay, it needs to detect it as a blank CD. Or DVD, sorry. Open it with this. Click burn. Can Rufus make a Windows 7 bootable disk? I might as well just use Rufus, honestly. You need an older version of Rufus. Great. And the disk is not working. So that's great. Oh my god, dude. What a pain in the ass. I guess we'll just wait until the thing fucking copies on to the USB drive, because there's no point in wasting all this fucking recording space. Okay, so I have way too many Apple devices. But when it comes to charging all of them, yeah, it's a problem. Which is why this video is sponsored by Anker. This is the Anker Prime Qi 2 3-in-1 wireless charger. You've got 25-watt ultra-fast charging, so 15 watts for your iPhone, 5 watts for your AirPods, and 5 watts for your Apple Watch. The biggest differentiator is the AirCool active airflow cooling technology. The visible air vents deliver 24% faster charging, 30% cooler temperatures, and whisper quiet 19 decibel operation. It's got an ultra compact design that has plenty of space for all your devices and folds up so you can travel with it anywhere. With its Active Shield 5.0 battery protection, it monitors temperatures 3 million times per day with intelligent power charging, protecting your devices from overheating and overcharging. And it's got this premium aluminum phantom gray matte finish. And if you're gonna get a charger, it might as well be smart. This is the 45-watt smart display charger, which is more than enough to charge your iPhone at max speed, reaching 50% in just 20 minutes, and the best part is, it's so compact. It comes with a smart display which instantly recognizes what iPhone you have and customizes the charging solution for your specific phone. When you double tap on top, you can activate Care Mode, which uses Active Shield 5.0 and monitors temperatures 1,000 times per second using GaN chipset and advanced cooling materials. It's got dual foldable prongs that adapt to wherever you want to plug it in. And then you get Bloop, which shows you real-time charging power and percentage with interactive feedback. Your charger has a personality. You can check out the link in my description and use my code AFFKOL2026 for 20% off the entire Anker.com site. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Let's try a different DVD drive and see if it boots from that one. So that is our original Windows 7 disk in a new DVD drive. Let's see if that works. If not, it's the ISO that's the problem. Oh, that worked! Holy shit, okay, we're back in the game, guys. We're back in the game. It was the DVD drive, the USB DVD drive that was a problem. So this one works. This one does not work. That one, I don't want to touch it because it's using the DVD, but that one works. Let's not jinx it. Whew, finally. That was long, bro. And we're still not done. If you weren't aware, after we're done installing, we have to install some drivers. I assume is going to be a nightmare. I accept the terms. Okay, restarting. Okay, while this is loading, I think we should try to be efficient and try to find the boot camp drivers that we are very obviously going to need. The resolution also went up, which is good. So in the meantime, let's look for iMac early 2008 Windows 7 boot camp drivers. Because we need the Wi-Fi drivers at least. Oh boy! It found the display drivers by itself. Well, that was cool. But again, I don't know if it's gonna find the Wi-Fi drivers by itself. Because the issue that we're going to run into, Legacy Update will find all the drivers that we need it to find. But in order for Legacy Update to work, we're going to need the Wi-Fi drivers. How are you going to use Legacy Update without the Wi-Fi? Makes sense. Capiche? Right now, the problem that I can think of is the bootcamp drivers that we do have are for Windows 7 32-bit. But I have decided to install Windows 7 64-bit because I'm a bad boy. And usually the 32-bit drivers don't work on the 64-bit because Apple just doesn't about it. So I'm already foreseeing problems. Yes! We already have Wi-Fi! Finally, some good fucking news, dude! I've never seen this happen! Yeah, that's actually crazy. I got some later ISO from like 2020, which has supposedly a lot more updates in one. And yes, we have Aero as well. The GPU drivers obviously installed, which is amazing. Oh my god, dude, yes, Aero works. Let's actually see how many of the drivers already work, because we might actually be good. What? Yo, so all of the drivers installed except for the built-in eyesight, which is honestly like, no one gives a shit about that. That's crazy, dude. Does it have sound? Okay, the sound is not working. The speakers on this are not broken as far as I can remember. Also, there was no startup sound. So there is that. Should we just attempt to install bootcamp drivers anyways? Or actually, let's just do the legacy update thing first. Install legacy update, run that shit. Because it might actually install newer versions of the drivers that we're looking for. Activate Windows, which is, oh my god, I didn't know that it did that. That's cool. Why is it downloading Windows 7 Service Pack 1? I already thought I had it. Okay, I swear I thought I had Service Pack 1. Okay, well, I guess we'll just let this download. All right, well, finally, we're ready to restart. Okay, it's gonna do the configuring service pack. Okay, so after about like 5,000 different restarts, we're finally here. That was long, bro. Okay, also, this is probably going to take a while. Okay, well, after like 30 more minutes, we have this service stack update. Okay, let's just do this one first. Internet Explorer 11 would probably be good because it will speed up the process and it's gonna update our GPU drivers as well. So the downloading usually goes quick. It's the installing that takes the time. I've been recording for 2 days now, and I think I'm gonna need a third day because we haven't actually gotten to the part where we use any of the stuff. The installation part has been taking so long. Man, Windows used to be really, really broken. You know what we should do in the meantime? I should look through the bootcamp files and see if we can just find the audio driver. The sound driver is not working, so we might have to format it in a specific way. Let's try doing FAT32 because I think that's the problem. It is that Cyrus folder that we are looking for. But again, I guess we're just gonna have to wait for legacy update to get done with this shit. So the basic problem is that bootcamp drivers for the iMac are 32-bit. But we've installed Windows 7 64-bit. I don't understand why Apple wouldn't provide 64-bit drivers for Windows 7 because the computer is 64-bit. They don't do that, so we're just gonna have to wait. Let's just check if this USB drive worked because it wouldn't detect it. So we might have a bit of a USB driver problem as well. If that is the case, I think we have a bit of a USB driver problem. It is not detecting the USB drive. We might be a tiny bit screwed. No, God! Okay, so the major problem we're facing right now is that Windows 7 cannot detect the USB, which is a major problem. So I wouldn't actually notice it, but for some reason, it's just not detecting the USB, and we needed to install the drivers. So that's crazy though. How does the Wi-Fi work, but the freaking USB doesn't? I'm wondering if some more legacy updates, like from legacyupdate.net, is just gonna make it work. The speakers are not working either, so there's that. Now that Internet Explorer is updated, legacy update should work faster. So I'm gonna wait for these like last updates. I'm gonna install them, and then I'm gonna boot into Snow Leopard and burn the bootcamp drivers on a DVD. It does detect the CD drive, not the internal one, because the internal one is physically broken, but the USB one. But yeah, we're gonna try to install the USB drivers and we'll just see where it goes from there. Okay, so we're back after updating, and this seems to be the problem. It thinks it's a USB composite device, which I don't know if this camera can pick it up, but that's wrong because it's clearly a USB disk drive device, something. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna boot this into Snow Leopard, try to reformat the USB drive in like MBR or something. That's what ChatGPT told me to do. I think the USB drive is detected in Snow Leopard, so I don't really want to burn an entire CD just so we can get the drivers. And also, I don't want to install the drivers because everything is working pretty well except for the disk drive drivers. Also, the USB drive just works better on this iMac. The freaking converter I have is slow as hell to work through USB-C. Now, I'm gonna put the boot camp drivers onto there, which is taking a shocking amount of time. I guess the read speeds are pretty good, but the write speeds are really slow. It says 3 minutes, so it's not crazy slow. Intel, this is the chipset driver that we need. I'm just not sure if that is going to work. I have my doubts. First of all, I have my doubts as to if this setup.exe is going to work. Let me just get a blank CD anyways in case the USB drive fails, because we've spent a lot of time on this, honestly. 3 days I've been, and Windows 7 is officially supported on this computer. How hard is it to install this shit, dude? It's just been a lot of waiting around, honestly. Eject untitled. Let's get the USB drive out. Let's get the CD drive in. Okay, that's the Windows 7 CD. Let's get that shit out. Eject. Dude, eject. What the hell? Here we go. This is the turn off the DVD marker. So I remember doing this, like just burning a CD or DVD just to transfer a few files over. Yeah, okay, open Finder. No, that's not what I want. Trash. Burn boot camp to disk. There we go. It didn't ask me what CD drive to use. Okay, is that working? Yeah, that is working. Okay, I guess we'll just let it finish and I'll be back. Okay, so the disk has been burnt, but let's eject it. Put the USB drive back in. Actually, let's just keep it unplugged and see how Windows reacts. That is weird, dude. It's definitely the wrong drivers. Oh boy. Man, Windows is slow. Snow Leopard like boots in an instant. Okay, so moment of truth, guys. Moment of truth. I understand that. Okay, there we go. Okay, that worked. So it was because I formatted the USB drive with the new MacBook Pro and it couldn't read it. But with the old one, yeah, it did just fine. Okay, so the Cyrus audio is the one that we want for the audio. Audio, sound. Okay, that didn't change at all and that didn't work. Let's just attempt to run the setup at this point. What do we have to lose? What is Realtek? Is that the audio driver? It might be, because it's different than the one that we have. I'm not sure if it's the correct audio though. Okay, let's restart the computer, see if that works. Wait, I just heard a sound. Where's the sound, dude? Boom, baby. That was it. That was the last piece. Because now we officially have Windows 7 installed completely. That took long, like very, very long. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We have everything working. The USB drive works. The only thing that's missing at this point is the built-in eyesight. But who the hell is gonna use that? You have the USB drive working, we have Wi-Fi working, we have the sound working, everything's working, dude. Oh boy, that was a process. I thought it would be as simple as plug and play, but no. And installing Snow Leopard was a complete waste of time. That was just a lot of, lots of pain. If you enjoy watching this, I mean, if you've been watching for this long, you clearly have, please like and subscribe. Please, for the love of God. I've suffered so much.